Welcome to Dreams Black Tea, where we inspire others to understand and value women's inclusion. We forge a better world. And when women themselves are inspired to be included, there is that sense of belongingness, relevance, and empowerment. In today's Black Tea, I'll be sipping some details with our very own Miss Jocelyn, Yarboi. I am Dr. Clement Asemnyra, your guest host for today's episode, which is all about the International Women's Day. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome, Madam Jocelyn, to Dreams Black Tea. Today is all about International Women's Day. How do you feel as a woman?
Thank you very much. I feel personally as a woman very empowered, very excited because today as Women's Day is the only day that is set aside to celebrate women, think about their progress made in society, to analyze growth, to promote equity, women equality, because unlike other days celebrated for women and all, International Women's Day gives the opportunity to celebrate every woman. For Mother's Day, for instance, you get to celebrate mothers or motherly figures. Some women even cry on Mother's Day. Some feel devastated. Some are depressed because they can't get kids, maybe biological, non-biological, to appreciate them, to visit them, to send them anything, to send them any nice message, do a nice gesture. And so sometimes they feel left out. Sometimes some women feel like my child didn't go the way I planned the child to go. So they feel sad. But then International Women's Day gives the opportunity to every woman, no matter your background, no matter your disability, no matter your age. You could be 2 years, still be celebrated as a woman. But for Mother's Day, you need to reach a certain age. Nobody wishes a 2-year-old Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But then when it's International Women's Day, we are appreciated.
The girls and
Yes,
the
the
women,
girls are appreciated,
everyone.
everyone. Nobody is left out. So I think that this day is very important and is very, very empowering for women. And we should use this opportunity to empower and create more awareness on the day and then evaluate progress, because I don't think it was like this some time back. I can I There has been a lot of progress. So we can use this day to also appreciate the progress made and then make new plans for more.
Great. Mountain stages for women, and it's so inspiring. I mean, I'm venting on the fact that International Women's Day is a day we celebrate everyone, the girls, women. It's not about you being a mother, indeed. And Dreams College has been on the trajectory when it comes to
Yes.
empowering women. Fashion design is a profession which we have a lot of women in this field.
Of course.
And as a woman enrolling in Dreams College of Creative Arts, did you feel inspired through your education and coming out to even work in the creative space?
Coming to fashion school, I never dreamt I would be in fashion school even, because when I even started the school, my friends were shocked because I used to be the type who wanted to just go higher with my education,
Okay.
be that CEO. Like I just wanted to do school after masters, I do a PhD, after a PhD, I do a doctorate, and then so when I started fashion school, I started business, I started being in this creative industry. Everybody was shocked, like, hey,
What
when
is
did Jocelyn
happening?
get so entrepreneurial? And I was like,
Exactly.
so when I came, I didn't have any idea about fashion. I didn't have any idea about sewing. I didn't even know how to sew. But then coming to fashion school, I was given the opportunity to learn. I was given the training. I was taught pattern making, pattern drafting, fashion illustration. Now I can sketch human beings,
Ah, you obviously will be sketching me before you
of
leave here.
course.
That is quite inspiring. That's quite inspiring. And this obviously shows how you've been inspired to be in the creative space. Today is all about International Women's Day. We know every year, International Women's Day, every year a team is announced. We celebrate the day with a team.
Mm-hmm.
And this year's team is Inspire Inclusion. What do you make of it as a woman? How are you being inspired to be included?
Well, the theme for the year, I think, is very interesting and it's very um, it gives the opportunity for women to think and reflect, because when we say somebody needs to someone needs to be inspired, inspiration is self is is self made, is within. So people may ask, or one may ask that, so if nobody, or if a woman is not inspired from within, can she not be included? But that's where the conversation comes in, that there are things that can be done to inspire people. Some of the things can be training, education. When somebody is educated, the person is empowered, the person learns skills to develop themselves. One of the other things that I think that should be done is to create a safe space for women where they can express their genuine feelings, their difficulties. They can express themselves, they can show what they do without being judged or criticized because they are women. And people see women to be less of um, maybe weaker vessels, so they should be appreciated no matter their failures, their setbacks. They should be encouraged to even share. And then I think that's the other way to inspire women or inspire inclusion on this International Women's Day is by making role models visible, because
Right.
there's a saying that what you see affects you, or what you hear affects you. So if a woman is always seeing one woman successful, one woman empowered, one woman doing well, doing exploits, and the woman is always watching that particular woman, she'll be inspired. She'll always feel like, oh, I want to be like this person. But where there's not the privilege to see any inspiring woman, then the woman feels like the woman coils to herself and goes into her natural self, that, oh, I am a woman. This is not for me. Maybe engineering is not for me, or doctrine is not for me. Maybe mine is just to maybe be in the house, get a husband, run my family, do petty jobs just to support. But
Yeah, that really makes sense. And also, with the fact that you have mentioned on role models, women have to have people they look up to. Many a times, we have women who also shy away from mountain stages, picking up roles. In typical school settings, you may give positions to some women, and they'll tell you, I don't want to be seen, I don't want to do this. Don't you also believe that some women don't allow themselves to be great when even they have the opportunity?
yes, I think so. But then I believe that everybody's mind can be changed. So far as the person is willing to learn, the mind can be changed. And it's a mindset thing. People come from different backgrounds. Your background can make you. Somebody may have grown up from a home where the mother says, when I'm talking, don't talk. When you go
Exactly.
out, don't dance. When you go somewhere, be quiet. So she's become used to it. She grows up with it. But when she's educated, she's enlightened that a woman is capable, a woman is appreciated, you have something in you. Then the woman gets to understand that, oh, I knew this when I was growing up, or when I was younger. This is what I was used to. But now I see a different picture to it, and that can be inspiring for the woman to develop.
Great. That can be inspiring for the woman to develop. This is a beautiful submission from you. And as we celebrate today, International Women's Day as well, one thing that personally is on my heart is on mental health. I believe for you to be able to feel inspired in order to be included, you need to feel safe. You need to own your intrinsic
Mhm.
motivation. You need to own whatever you believe in. You need to feel confident about yourself. And mental health conversation is quite, I mean, sensitive. A lot of us are going through so much, celebrating International Women's Day, and we talking about the fact that women themselves have to be inspired in order to be included. When it comes to mental health states, what do you make of it in relations to people getting inspired to be included? Because if your mental state is not really in good shape, you can never get inspired to be included.
Yeah, to be honest, in this part of our world, I think the matter or the topic of mental health is a bit less touched on because women go through a lot and sometimes they can't even come out. Not even women alone. We all go through a lot, men, women, everybody. But then it becomes a little more for women considering their biological makeup naturally. So you will be going through something, but how to come up? Because when you come out to say it, the society will take what you have said in a completely different way. So, for example, maybe a woman has been abused by her husband, but this woman we are talking about is an important person in the society. The woman is unable to come out to say that, oh, this is what is going on, or I am going through this because they have a life outside the world where everybody sees them to be
Them,
something influential, something um, leading.
yeah,
So they are unable to come out to say that, oh, this is what I am going through. I'm depressed. I am sad about this. This is bothering me. Even like women that are not necessarily in the public space, sometimes they go through a lot, but they cannot come out to say it because coming out, people will tag them as, oh, the girl who has the problem, the girl who has the
it's bipolar, the girl
yes,
who has this
the
and
girl
that.
who even sometimes people are raped and they cannot even share it because some other people can attribute that incident to being a bad girl. If you
Exactly.
didn't go and expose yourself in a certain way, maybe probably you wouldn't have been raped. So a lot of people go through a lot. And I think that on this day, we have to understand that mental health is very important. Someone going through mental issues or struggling with their mental health may not be in their right sense to even think properly to appreciate anything they can do for
Do
themselves.
exactly.
So the topic needs to be touched on, the topic needs to be encouraged. Women who feel like they are going through things should be encouraged to share without being judged, without any prejudice, so that sometimes maybe it's even at stage A, and sharing at stage A can do a lot. They're unable to speak about it until it gets to maybe stage C or stage E.
And that is serious.
Yes, and it becomes
Exactly.
terrible.
Yeah, so if you're a woman out there, the young girls, and you are watching this interview, just like Jocelyn is saying, we have to feel empowered. Our mental state is very important. Speak out, talk to that auntie, talk to that your mother, someone you can trust, and definitely it will be possible for you to get a situation or whatever solved in a certain way. Jocelyn, you've been so inspiring on today's episode, and your submission, I feel, speaks volume to the core of today's celebration. We are excited, and thank you so much for making time with us. Before we leave, your final words to, our viewers.
Thank you so much for having me. I would like to thank everyone who watched this. And I want to say that women are important. And so they should take the opportunity on every day, not only International Women's Day, to do something to inspire someone else who is watching, the younger generation, to see their capabilities, to see their skills, to appreciate themselves for whom they are. And I think that we'll be making great progress.
Appreciate themselves for who they are, and indeed we will be making a progress. It's all about the International Women's Day live on Dreams Black Tea. It's been an incredible time, and thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. Clement Asemnyra, your guest host, hosting on behalf of Mr. Kageri. Thank you so much for joining us, and we come your way with another episode on Dreams Black Tea.